Hello, greetings. All right, thank you for joining us. This is the last one in this location. Thank goodness. This has not been an easy trip. Hasn't been fun. Let's put it that way. So, stress with the working environment. Just I'm not gonna go into detail. It's not worth it. So I'm actually taking it easy because of the stressful environment, which is actually good in that regard. So you can get to a point where you're like, I don't feel like doing anything. I need a break anyway. So yeah, there's just it's like one of those jobs where you just gotta be on target. You can't really make too many mistakes on it, so it's better just to rest up. So when you do it, it's smooth sailing. Everything went fine. So I was going to do this video earlier. I wasn't sure I was going to get a call or not. Not that it's that crucial or anything, but you never know. So here we are. All right. Now I've been connected to a bizarre the Atlantean, the magician energies. Now it's also a project I'm working on too, so I'm tapping more into those energies, which has been just it's like I'm in unknown territory. I'm not used to this, so I don't really hear much about it. So we're in the early stages of figuring it out. So what it is now, I haven't been going too heavy into this. Just like obviously there's people out there who've been doing this probably forever, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about most of the time, but it's always going to be that. But this is basically, yeah, yeah, magician energies. Let's see if they're here. They are here. Um, I think I got a visitation yesterday. I wasn't last night. I wasn't too well. Actually, I'm not sure about this. It's like I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, cannot sleep for anything. So, I wonder who had something to do with this. So I don't know if it was the dark entity I was talking about, or the magician stuff. So we'll find out tonight. Yeah. So some of them don't like to be talked about at all. But yeah, this is a. Let's see. This is a Atlanteans or they're not all Atlanteans. Let's see, but either way, I mean the magician energies here. It's basically it's like reworking your mind on how it works, how it operates. We've been born to think a certain way, and so you have to unteach that and allow more connected to energies and aliens, obviously, and just more of the outside world. But also realize the physical can be altered easily depending on the vibration you are at. Obviously, there are magicians here that aren't so well. You want to say they're not so friendly. Some just don't feel like we're ready in certain areas, but it's basically from a higher frequency. Yes, you can manipulate this energy, this reality very easily if you know what you're doing. And yes, many can use it for a lot of devil doing. Sometimes they just do that to test it out. It's like, I didn't know I can do that. That I think you get past on all that stuff in the beginning. If you're not doing like if your intentions is to cause harm, that's a different story. But if you're just trying stuff out with your abilities and you do something you're not proud of, they know that, and it can be easily repaired. But if you have intentions to cause difficulties, those aren't easy to repair usually, depending on what it is. Just whatever. We're just keeping a general point of view. At least what I'm getting from them is Atlantean energies. I mean, there's a mixture of magician energies. They're going slowly with this for obvious reasons, but once again, when you connect to the magician, now everybody has it to a certain level. Not everybody's meant to have it, obviously, but it's basically, you know, the magical arts. So basically, yes, opening up telekinesis energies, teleportation, and manipulation, mind manipulation. If I was remember right, Yeah, because this when a Netflix show showed up on my YouTube thing, Bright. I think it's called Bright. It's kind of a goofy. I haven't seen it, but it's like the fairy world is connected to the human world. I guess it wasn't the best made world, but I believe if I remember right, they were talking about putting thoughts in people's minds and things like that. See, we're taught not to believe in any of this stuff. Magic doesn't exist. We're just humans. We're powerless. What a perfect prison. It's a mental prison. So when you put that to the side, a lot more of the magic magician energies that come through, it obviously people want instant results. You want to be able to, use telekinesis very quickly. It's like a gradual process. Like you have to change your whole demeanor. It's like almost as you become another person. I'm getting this from them. It's not so easy. You kind of have to train yourself, retrain your mind, retrain your body. And the way it works is different ways. Just go with the flow of it. Because so kind of like you have the intentions. Yeah, you do work for it, of course. But you're not always meant to do it instantly. Some are, some they're here for that. A lot of people are still have to be in this third dimensional environment. That's what makes it difficult. A lot of people would rather just disappear, teleport out of here, and technically you can. Now, reason to go into the wizard stuff, at least that's where we're going at this moment, because they want to be known, is because their power is stronger than aliens. Depending on who you're talking to, of course, because they're connected to the Earth, and the aliens, some of them are sort of, unless you're born here. But the magicians, the wizards, and elves, and all that, they're. This is. I mean, a long time ago, not too long ago, about a year ago or something. I forgot. Maybe it was. I forget what it was. A dark elf. I forgot what I did. I made a dark elf mad, and I felt his energy, and it was not pleasant. It lasted for a couple of days, actually. I mean, I was wild out, but I never knew that. I mean, I assumed they existed, but I never really connected to them. And his energy was around me for quite a while. I was super pissed at me for something. And then the other thing I connected to, called the Sentinels, like very large beings. I don't fully understand them completely, but they are large in another dimension. And after that, I guess you look up in the comics, it's similar to that. They don't look exactly like that. They're more unfriendly, but what is it? The dragons came in after that. So apparently they didn't like me tapping into their energy, so the dragons came too. I felt the dragon vibration around, which I don't normally feel. So I mean, obviously personal experiences is really where growth comes. We have to be open to all this. Most society, I say they're open, but you want an alien to appear, but sometimes, yeah, you think you're ready. You have very different reasons why they show up when they don't show up. Okay, with the magician energies, we're gonna go back into that. So yeah, they have now these are Atlanteans. Some are, some aren't. Doesn't really matter. Are elves. You see the Merlin magicians, because he has his own kind of little clan he's connected to. However you want to connect with that. It's basically, yeah, they're part of land manipulation, and yes, and changing the Earth's weather, meaning they connect to Mother Earth's energies, of course, with Mother Earth's permission. This is back in the old days, and they change land masses with those vibrations. They kind of all get together and they move a piece of land, they move an island, they do this, they do that. I mean, you can imagine that. And they get together as a collective, from what I'm gathering here, and they move things around. Lemurian magicians, There's all types, obviously. Yeah, there's all kinds that have not been mentioned for many reasons. Humanity's been, taught to think a certain way, and they have to step back. Now they are altering our reality on a constant basis. I believe they can appear and disappear whenever they feel like it. They don't do it for obvious reasons. You can call one, ask one to do it, most likely. Because what I got is they can you have no trace that they're there. Now they can make you know that, but for the most part, they listen if you want. I mean, if you're calling to them, they'll listen. Are they stalking people? I would say some do, but no comment. I don't think they really care that much for that. Well, I mean, watching is probably a better word for it. They do watch energies, they do watch intentions, they do feel the Earth's energy, they do feel when people are awakened, when they're not. They do call in the aliens to appear. So alien visitation does happen, an alien does it instead. Because sometimes when you see a wizard person, depending on the person, some are meant for contact with aliens, some are contact with wizard people eventually. So yeah, we're obviously in the early stages, but we are slowly going back into the Middle Ages mentality of fairies, mermaids, everything you can think of. But we're still going to have our technologies, but we're just going to start slowly. I mean, not it's doesn't really have a certain timeline for it. But it's a gradual process of basically humanity finding itself once again. And once again, the universe, obviously, we're kind of pushing it for the universe to speed up or give us some indications, something around those lines. But sometimes when something very big is going to occur, they don't really go into details for many reasons. Oh yeah, 9/11 was today. Let's see if they have anything to say about that. No, this is from the Atlanteans. We'll just do a conscious connection. Over time, we'll go a little bit deeper. Let's see. 9/11 is, I mean, it's nothing you haven't heard before. There is a lot of trickster energies there to cause another world war. You could say, yeah, World War III. They were gearing up to. They weren't sure if it was going to really occur. Many, like say, magicians never thought anything would come out of it. It was just kind of a waste of time, but they did see the purpose of it. But it all comes back down to human consciousness allowing what to occur, what not to occur. Human consciousness also makes a lot of mistakes, but that's kind of the idea. So, like I said, the mass majority of human consciousness, I would say 85 to 90%, does not want the awakening to occur spiritually. But that does not mean that won't, obviously, that changes. Well, doesn't want, there have various reasons, obviously. Stuck in their old ways. Likes to backtrack a lot, go backwards, like being old fashioned of what's being showed here. But realize also, because humans have gotten used to being afraid, the fear mongering of the economy, they got used to being in that kind of fear state reality. Not that you're afraid all the time, but just that used to that bombardment of, the news, that person's in trouble in the news, just for example, and difficulties at home. So when humanity wants a change, yeah, obviously magic, when people see it, hear it, see telekinesis, instantly they call it a devil. Instantly it's evil. It's just, some people are wondering, it's like, can I use some telekinesis to get people's attention? Yes, but think about the people who are going to be freaking out when you do that. So this is why there's a little bit more to it than just showing them something. I mean, there's a lot of other layers to it. As nice as that would be, Doesn't mean it won't happen, but there's just a lot more. I mean, there's a lot of responsibility to it. Just sometimes it's best not to just yet. That doesn't go for everybody, but some people are definitely meant for it, and others are, have another purpose. Let's put it that way. Those that are working on it, basically, to open up your telekinesis, yes, rework the mind. You got to clear out the old library of thinking, the belief systems. Allow more spiritual. That yes, you can connect to beings, aliens, wizards, whoever is your mind, and allow that to come easier. It does take time. We're not always meant to fully grab onto it, but also when you connect to objects, anything, you kind of like you connect with in your mind, you see it happen, and movements and things like that occur. Get a rock do a move and things like that because you're connected to it mentally. Mentally, you're connected to its the rock's mental state also, and so it will move, go back and forth, whatever it might be. There's a lot more to it than that, but that's the gist of it. And also understanding your chakras, releasing old chakra DNA knowledge, basically releasing old karma, manipulations, a lot more source energy to come through. One moment. Now, oh yeah, 9/11 situation. A lot of dark wizards wanted to occur to cause mayhem, chaos, to watch humanity. I mean, humanity's already allowing this much to occur. Why not let them burn even more? That was stopped. No, that was tested, obviously, but there had to have been a change, a clearing, showing that evil does exist here. And just to give you a glimpse of what more can occur, because a lot more could have happened. So here's a pinch of what can occur. And humanity said, hell no, the rest of it. So, I mean, I believe wars are slowly calming down. To me, we're not, I mean, you say what you want about other things. Nothing's perfect, but I mean, yeah, they have the ISIS situation. Obviously, human trafficking is a big problem. Yeah, it's like a double energy there, definitely. Now, from a wizard's point of view, obviously connected to it, but yesterday, because it's a big deal. It does lower the Earth's vibration. It shows something about some being snatched in their dream state, lose their energy. Yeah, so some people wonder why they go into suicide tendencies because you can't be possessed and not know it. That's why certain people they have this bad problem happen, that problem, or they're just fine, and they just had a preacher commit suicide recently, and that's once again he left that door open. Another being he didn't know how to defend himself, and just sort of creeped in and took him over. And they're very sneaky about it. Yeah, it's like an Ocean's 11 type of thing, the movie. The dark entities come in and they trick your mind, they trick your thinking that you're not worthy, and they take you over. So people are all big on the suicide thing. Now I think again, it's fucked up. It's like it's not fully understood, but it's not something to mess with. Yeah, these beings we don't realize what's here, we don't see it, but the mind is where everything, obviously opening up your mind to like seeing an alien being in your mind, talking to in your mind is not as easy as it sounds. Yeah, you can train yourself if you have to kind of go with the flow if it feels like something you should pursue, sometimes you force things and it just doesn't work. You get a headache. It's like, I don't know if this is gonna work. But you know, it's on what feels right. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, because I've been looking. I've heard about this stuff, and I think it was this year, earlier in the year, about retraining the mind, and I haven't really dived into it that deeply. I have plenty of other things on my plate, so like I said, it's not always meant to be. But if it feels right, I mean, if you feel that this is the direction for you, and just feels like something worth exploring, go right ahead. But some people just, I got this going on, I got that going on. Quite understood. Yeah, you got to be who you are. You know, it's like, oh, now I got to learn how to do telekinesis and turn myself invisible. I'll have fun with that one. That doesn't mean that doesn't exist. It just like it does. It just, I mean, people talk about the ascension. Well, magic is part of ascension. Once again, not everybody's going to be fully into it for obvious reasons, because there's a lot of responsibility comes with it. Not that you have power over others, they might abuse it, but just that the backlash you get for even doing it, for doing whatever, even do something positive. The backlash of that. I mean, look at what Jesus went through, you can say, and there's others that are involved that aren't popular and went through a lot of backlash also. So, let's see. I mean, this has been tried over and over again. And there's, once again, people want these alien connections. There's nothing wrong with that. But just the responsibility of dealing with when you do get a visitation or something occurs, you get some, extra energy. So it doesn't mean it won't happen. A lot of the, let's see, alien disclosure of people individual. It feels like a lot of alien beings are pulling back, not entirely, but they're observing for the right time. That doesn't mean they're not wandering around doing their thing. They are. They're just making themselves unknown. They're going to continue to do that. Now, obviously, they come through dreams and others, and people might feel them around, and that's a different story. But for the most part, their energies are getting closer to the earth, but it's totally cloaked. Yeah, they are. It feels like they're listening more than they have in the past. Because, yeah, the Area 51 situation, there's other stuff going on. As the more you talk about, even if you have no answers whatsoever, at least you're, you know, allowing that idea, of connecting to. Now, for like an alien visitation, for most, no time soon. But those that wish for it to occur, oh, it's happening in different ways. Yes, a channeling form. Some feel like if you're channeling their energies, that is the best way, because you're healing yourself, healing the energies around you. Eventually, there will be a physical meeting, depending on the person, of course, over time. Now, will it be very long? Might be like 2 seconds. Yeah. So, let's see here. Let's see. One moment. Let's see. The Magic Ministry. Ministry of Magic. That's, I think it's Harry Potter. I think something like that. It's a common name word. It's basically Atlantean energies would get together in temples, connect to their vibrations. Basically, they would psychically know each other, telepathically connect in a temple, and feel the vibrations and bring out whatever it is that they wish to work on, to manifest, to occur. It's all done with energy. No, they don't own a lot of. They don't have a Walmart or anything like that. No, it is basically manifesting. Not quite into details. Advancement of human creation has a lot to do with humanity's development here, to advance it to an Atlantean point of view, because a lot of humans were not built to be at that higher level. They were, but some got downgraded, as obviously perspectives are always going to be different. But basically, the human experiment was, yes, from the higher consciousness of the monkey and other beings. The other thing was, how can you get? I saw something funny. Like you have a person that looks like an ostrich, and you have the person that looks like a reptilian, and then they get married, have a relationship. Well, obviously, when they're an ostrich and a reptilian, that might not work out so well. But if you're in human form, like you incarnate as a human, and you look like these things, relationship central. So, you know, it's another way for different species to interact with each other. So, yeah, like a goldfish person, incarnates as a human, and a fox and marry, whatever integration you're looking for. Gives you a little bit more different perspective of how people incarnate here. Yeah, you can come here and you come in this world. You can go to other worlds are easier, but this world kind of just it's just you know it's easier for them to interact here because their DNA is here. So of course, there's DNA with other beings too, but this one's a little bit more adventurous, you can say. Depending on how you look at it. It's adventurous and yeah, because it's not an easy, it's more challenging, obviously. So this is like a make it or break it relationships world. Let's see. There are golden temples of Atlantis that have not been found. A lot of them went to the lower vibrations. It was inevitable for this to break down. There's many experiments done here that were questionable, meaning the Atlanteans and other beings did not know the outcome. There are other beings that had an idea. No one, I mean, Spirit World had more of an idea, obviously, but no one really had a clear idea where things were going to go. So it is like Atlanteans cannot watch everything. Their power themselves, yes, they were becoming weaker over time too. Because of the low vibrations, they were not seeing everything happening, occurring. So when their psychic ability wasn't tapped, because with their abilities, they can connect to pretty much anything. If they tap into it, they can see right through it, see the vibrations of it, past lives, whatever they need to see. Over time, the energy started to die down. And so things like our society crippling and falling apart was more inevitable. And once it occurred, it's like a snowball effect. It's hard to stop it once it gets going. They didn't see it coming. They didn't see humanity fall, like the downfall of humanity, or just. But it was for them. They felt like failure. Some of them did because they didn't see it. Those that saw it, I would say, even didn't believe it. They never thought that because I don't think that ever happened to them before. Yeah, working on a human species, perfect it. Never see one downgrade that easily. It's like here we're giving you all this stuff, and then you're just powering down, becoming more human. So when they say like Atlanteans becoming more human, it's many have incarnated more into the human form that we are in. I believe we're also, because everybody has a different point of view. The modern human is I believe, from what I'm gathering, more supposed to be the new version of Atlantean, but it didn't work out that way. Kind of just kind of fell apart. I mean, it was like or not exactly Atlantean, but the new version of human, like the Ferrari version, or however you want to look at it. I mean, there's probably more to it than that, but we're here to basically, at this point, let's see, a lot more fairy energies are coming in through it. It's going to be a gradual process, but it's like the more you want something to occur, it will find you eventually. It might take 10 or 20 years, but that's the problem. It's like Even with telekinesis abilities, if it's something that you truly heart desire for it. If you truly want an alien interaction, I imagine it will occur eventually. If you put a lot of, I'd say a lot, but you feel it's part of your timeline, it will most likely occur when the time is right. Once again, it might be 10 or 20 years for it to occur. Like I said, it might be only a couple of seconds, but you never know. Alien disclosure, same thing. Now, alien disclosure, humanity is still playing kind of trying to figure out what it wants to do with it. Right now, it's a lot. It's being laughed at this time. There's many timelines of it for to at least the vibration of it to be more acceptable in society. Right now, it's being laughed at, but it's not taken. It's like there's more questions than answers. So nothing wrong with that. It makes it hard for people to believe all these questions. It is. I mean, when you allow that to come into your life, the alien disclosure. I mean, even if you're just looking at UFO stuff like ships and stuff, that still shows that you're curious. Even if you're not ready to go for the whole full spiritual development, there's nothing wrong with that because it's just a gradual process. You might start telepathically connecting to that alien ship that you're seeing. You might not believe it, but it doesn't mean that's where we're slowly. So it's like follow your curiosities, and eventually it'll lead to something down the road. Might not be quick. Hmm. Humanity's descent into the third dimension was not an easy one. Basically, a lot of humans went after each other and destroyed other colonies, other human civilizations. Some are built up for high vibrations, but it just started to fall apart. Now the Buddhism or the India was at a high energy and very strange place. So you imagine going to these places like India, for example. Then you're just visiting. Everything's bizarre. It's just like what you see in the paintings, but you actually see it. It's like that's messed up. It's like, okay, this place is way too messed up for me. So, from what I feel, India and you can say China, but I feel like India was one of the last places to shut down. So they didn't get to erase everything. They weren't really allowed to, but it was such a high energy. A lot of it has been forgotten, but very small percentage remained. But that small percentage is a big deal over there. So it tells you how powerful they really were. There were some powerful beings there. Yeah, some are very stubborn, but yeah, they want to be part of the human consciousness. They want to be part of all this madness. They feel like even whatever they're allowed to contribute, they will do it. They want to be part of this human experience because it's unlike anything else they've ever seen before. So yeah, it is the extreme. There are other human civilizations that are far worse, but a lot of them are more barbarians. Humanity here is the belief systems that has them trapped. The mind is in lockdown. And breaking the mind is not that easy. The CIA does it to a certain degree for manipulation purposes. So there is showing there is a way to break out. Self hypnosis, that's like a spiritual and redemption. It's like doing all the spiritual work eventually unlock the control systems. So it is done here. It's just not done, you know, in front of you. You can say like a job application. Yeah, they're showing a job, like a job application is kind of the same thing, depending on what it is. It's like retail. Okay, you need to do certain jobs to get this job. So you got to train your mind to do those jobs, those tasks. So you're kind of brainwashing yourself to a degree, depending on how you look at it. And you kind of like you put your mind to that. I need to do this so I can feed myself. Obviously, that's kind of important. But then you forget everything else. So, especially all the spirituality work, it's in the background. as it becomes more a part of the foreground of, you can call it spirituality, call it whatever it is. It's basically just unraveling all of the BS basically, and just allowing your soul to connect to your higher dimension, your imagination, allow yourself to be free. People feel free because they're not really, obviously. Many just make do with the reality that's been given to them. Like I said, the Truman Show is a perfect example. In the movie, people say, people don't realize our whole society is like that. And how to break free from that is not easy. Because people don't believe it. They don't believe in they're in something like this, but they are. So they get the key unlocking it. You don't have to know everything. Nobody's going to know everything anyway. But like the alien disclosure energies, people that wish for that to occur, it's most likely in their timeline for it to occur, just as it happened now. So, I mean, if you feel it in your heart, it will occur sometime before you're dead, most likely. So, yeah, they show the next 7 years, 10 years, 7 years, things are going to really change. You're in the early stages of, so everything is right now is a gradual process. It's like a plant slowly growing. You put the seeds in, seeding it, and then give it a chance to grow. And this is a big deal because it's a timeline growth. The seeds of a timeline seeds are being planted right now. And the more that you just stay strong with it, it's like you can look at it this way. You turn to a flower, just the longer you endure, the more you'll blossom. That sounds weird, but that's pretty much what it is. There's more to it there, magic, but yes, Atlanteans are very much a part of plant growth. They can wave their hands and grass will grow, stuff like that. The alien disclosure energy, just basically follow your heart and walking the energies. Truth will come through as due time. There's no coincidences, obviously. The soul's gonna go into a new redemption of the old energies. So the biggest thing is trust yourself. Yes, a lot of the crazy to come through. It's like if you can't, clear out the trickster energies. Some people enjoy that. It is fun sometimes, I guess, depending on who you are. Well, trickster energies are very controlling. That's not true. What I say is true, or whatever it is. But either way, of course, everyone has one point of view. So this is basically tapping into your own intellectual self, your own spiritual self. Yes, everybody's in a mental prison at this point, to a degree. And taking down those bars is not easy because they did everything they can to keep humanity shut down. Now you're here to cause an earthquake, basically, of new soul energies. All right. Hopefully, some of this is helpful. I'm going on for a while. This is just scratching the surface. But they're just seeing how this plays out. All right, I'll leave you with all that. All right, take care, everyone. We'll be back to the old ways next week, tomorrow. Take care. Thanks for your support.